When it's time to move your plants outside, but the weather says it's not time, you got yourself a problem. And in today's episode, we're gonna talk about exactly what you should be doing, 3 ways that you can slow down growth for your seedlings. And yes, this is a very specific problem, but when you're met with that type of situation, you wanna know how to react and what to do so you don't have oversized and stressed seedlings before it's ready to plant outside. Let's go. So 2 months ago when we started our seedlings for our summer garden, we didn't know what the spring would hold. We don't have a crystal ball, and if you do, please share it with me because I never know when to start my seedlings at the right time. I can only go off of kind of historical data. I say, okay, last year I planted at this time. These were the results that I got. This was kind of what I would like to do for next year. That's all I can go off of is historical records and good journal keeping, which if you're a good gardener, you should definitely keep records. My videos actually help me out as well because my videos serve as kind of a journal that I like to look back at, but I also do keep a good written journal as well on when we started seedlings, when we moved them outside, and the results we got. Now here's the problem. Because I don't have that crystal ball, I have seedlings here that are ready to go outside. The problem is spring is not ready for me. And so because we're met with this dilemma, I have a problem that I want to educate you guys on because I'm a gardener just like you all. I'm not putting on airs. I'm not pretending to be the best gardener in the world. I'm just, I think, a pretty decent gardener, but I also run into these same problems that you're gonna face at some point, if not this year. And that problem is that I have seedlings. Like, look at this basil. This stuff is ready to go out into the garden. This tomato is screaming at me. This should have been planted a week ago, but we cannot plant outside yet. We still have nights, believe it or not, that are unseasonably cold for this time of year in Michigan. Now I know a lot of you around the country have probably already planted out your gardens. If you're down south, you've probably already gotten past this point. But in Michigan, we're in this very fringe season, and that fringe season is we either keep our plants inside and stress them out, or we move them outside and risk them dying from frost. Both situations can actually be very bad. If you keep a seedling in a pot for too long that's ready to go outside, this seedling is bursting at the seams to get out of this pot. Keep it in the pot too long, it's going to be stressed and it will set it back and it could even die. But conversely, if you plant it outside, it could get out of the pot, but then what's the point if it dies next week from a frost or just abnormally cold weather? Summer crops do not like cold, wet weather. And right now we're getting tons of cold, wet weather. So because of that, we are met with that dilemma. And what do we want to do? The best thing that you can do is simply slow down growth. And so we're going to talk about all about 3 ways that you can slow down the growth on your seedlings to help them survive that little bit of an awkward period before they're ready to move out into the garden. The first way that you can slow down plant growth is by cooling them down. Plants have a hormone known as auxins, and auxin is essentially just a hormone that elongates the top of plants or the root tips, and that means that it's growing. If it has auxin development, it is moving, it is growing, and what we want to do is we want to slow that down. We want to inhibit auxin development, and conveniently, auxins are directly related to temperature. The more temperature, the warmer you have it, the more auxin development there's going to be. And so as gardeners, all we have to do is reduce temperature. That is why in early spring, when the daytime temperatures might be in the 70s, but the nighttime temperatures are still in like the low to mid 40s, your plants just don't grow that fast. And that's because the nighttime temperatures are inhibiting that auxin development. And you'll notice as soon as those nights kick into the 50s or even the low 60s, it just seems like the garden just springs to life. And that happens because of the temperatures. Now, how can you use this to your benefit? Well, here in our greenhouse, we have the ability to open vents. Opening vents allows that colder exterior temperature to come in to this interior environment, cooling it down. We can regulate that temperature rather than keep it at, say, 75, 80 degrees. We can drop it down to 60 or 65 degrees. In your home, if you have the ability to open a window, just crack a window even, just to let in that cool air into your grow room. Any drop will help to inhibit auxin development, but scientists say that a drop of around 10 degrees Fahrenheit, or right around 4 degrees Celsius, that difference will basically reduce auxin development, the growth of the plant, by up to 30%. So if your plant, say, is like this tall and you want it to slow down and not grow anymore, you can reduce that growth by 30% by just dropping the temperature by roughly 10 degrees. And another way that you can slow down the growth by reducing the temperature is getting them off a heat mat. That's probably the simplest way, if you're using a heat mat to cool them down, is to reduce the heat mat. Just unplug it. And that's why even as seedlings, a lot of people will encounter leggy seedlings. That's because they don't like the heat. The more heat you have, the more auxin development there is. And if it develops too many auxins, it'll simply get long and leggy. It'll stretch. So what we want to do is cool down the plants, if at all possible. The other thing you can do is during the day, when it is warm and you're fearing the nighttime temperatures, this is a great time to move them outside during the day, get them hardened off, but still let them encounter those colder temperatures. It's a lot better than keeping them all the time in the house that might be at 70 degrees. Move them outside where it's, say, 55 to 60 degrees during the day. Just take them inside during the night, and that will actually really help to regulate their growth so they just grow slower, and it'll help buy you that very precious time that you need until you can plant outside. The second way, and this is probably the easiest way to slow down plant growth, and that's by topping them. Now, not every plant can be topped, but the ones that you can top should be topped, because this will dramatically slow down the overall plant growth. I know, like a tomato, you're not going to prune a tomato plant because you don't want to take the top off that. It'll just get really bushy and weird, and it's definitely not great to do that. But most plants, I'd say probably 85 to 90% of your plants that you're growing that are ready to go outside can be topped. And all you have to do is simply prune the top. So going back to the topic of auxins, auxins are in this main growth stem, and this main growth stem wants to grow up. It wants to grow up and continue to grow out. So all we have to do is simply tell those auxins, whoop, there's a dead end. Now, those auxins are going to grow up. They're still going to be going into this tip here, but they're going to realize that there's nowhere else to go. There's a dead end. So those auxins are going to be sent back down and rerouted around to all this littler growth here. It's not only going to make your plant bushier, but that process can take 3 to 4 days for that response to actually hit this other side growth here. 3 to 4 days is a ton of time in terms of plant life, because in 3 to 4 days, that could really be the difference between a super stressed plant indoors and a plant that is surviving and thriving indoors, ready to go outside. It's a huge difference. So simply by topping your plants can dramatically slow down the growth. And then on top of that, once that growth is redistributed to all these other side shoots, you're not focusing on one main growth point. You're then hosting the growth. Those auxins are going into 1, 2, 3, 4 little side shoots, 5 side shoots. That is dividing those auxins up by 5, which is going to slow that growth down dramatically and buy you even more time. So really, really important tip. If you can prune, you should prune. And the third and final way that you can slow down your seedlings and buy you very precious time until you can plant outside, and this is a dangerous one, and that's why I saved it for the last, because I don't want you to mess up your seedlings. And unless you know what you're doing and follow this to a T, you can really screw up your seedlings. And that is by reducing light. Now, we have to remember that there are a few essential needs that every plant needs to grow. It needs food, right? Fertilizer. It needs water, and it needs sunlight, right? It needs those 3 things. So if a plant is growing and it's being stimulated by extra energy, right? The energy comes from what? It does not come from fertilizer. It also does not come from water. Energy only comes from one place, and that's the sun. So if you have sunlight, or in a lot of cases, grow light, simply by reducing the exposure to that light can dramatically cut down on how fast this plant is growing, because you're essentially reducing the energy stores of that plant. Side note, basil smells amazing. Wow, great plant. Okay, so here's the thing. You do not want to reduce the sunlight too much or the grow light too much, because if you just put them in darkness, the auxins are going to kick into overdrive. This is actually counterproductive to what you are doing, because auxins are essentially going to elongate the stem. And if you ever had leggy seedlings where they start to stretch and stretch and stretch, that could be because of too much temperature. But more often than not, it's caused because of not enough light, or the lights are not close enough to your seedlings. So you're not putting them in complete darkness. What you want to do is you simply want to reduce the duration of time. Keep the light at the same exact strength, but cut the duration by up to 30%. Cutting the duration of light that you get by 30% is going to dramatically cut down on the amount of growth that they can generate from the energy, because the light is simply off. What you're essentially doing is you're giving them a burst of full strength light. If they're outside, you could use shade cloth with this. Shade cloth works exactly the same way as if you had your plants indoors. In a greenhouse like this, we would just use shade cloth. 50 to 75% shade cloth is a great way to cut down on the sun's energy, because that sun's energy is the only thing photosynthesizing and creating energy. Or your grow lights inside, simply just turn them off. Turn them off rather than have them at, let's say they were on, keeping math simple because I'm terrible at math. Let's say they were on for 9 hours. 9 hours is divisible by 3. Okay. So if they were on 9 hours, 30% reduction from that would be about 6 hours, right? You probably have your lights on for longer. I'm just keeping math simple so I don't embarrass myself here. But what you want to do is you dramatically want to reduce, right? Or even 15, right? So let's say you had your lights on for 15 hours. You'd have your lights on for 10 hours. Math. Got it. Okay, so, and that one's probably a little more realistic. We have our lights on for about 16 hours. So that's a good one to go by, actually. So we might run our lights at full strength for only about 10 to 11 hours versus the 15 to 16 hours that they're normally getting. And that is the ticket to slowing down growth. They're not going to be leggy. They're not going to be stressed. It will just dramatically slow down that growth. Because what happens when they're exposed to that full sunlight, they're going to say, whoa, we're ready to grow. But then when the light shuts off, they say, I don't know if we're ready to grow or not. We should conserve energy. Otherwise, we might die. We might use up that precious energy. And then the lights come back on again, full strength. They're like, whoa, okay, we're ready to grow again. And that off-on, not getting as long of light, really helps reduce the energy stores. That helps keep them small. And with that, those are 3 super, super simple ways that you can reduce the overall plant growth to buy you precious time if your season is not seasoning. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and grow bigger. Take care. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership, because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free, and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care.